Good morning, everybody. Waiting for people to get online. Love the smiles. So, welcome to Conversations with Anasa. Let's take our attention inside, because of course, all the important stuff, the really important stuff, happens inside us. It happens first there, and whatever happens on the outside is some reflection of that. But that inner integrity is our first principle. So take your attention below your belly button and allow all the energy between your ears to gently drain down below your belly button and into the very first chakra at the tip of the tailbone. Connecting to the gentle motion of the tailbone, going backwards on the inhale and slightly forwards on the exhale. And then as you're ready, dropping a golden thread down to the center of the earth, acknowledging that we are made from the earth, of the earth. Our bodies are of earthly substance. And feel into the sweetness of our spirit, which is able to descend to the center of the earth, into the geometric structure at the very center. And if you don't feel it right now, that's no problem. Just continue to practice. Spirit delivers to us what is appropriate for our time and place. When you're ready, gently allow your attention to come back up to the energy center at the tip of the tailbone. Feel into the sex chakra just above that. When you're ready, you may notice your attention naturally drift up to the solar plexus. Oh no, the energy center below the belly button. Breathe into that space and feel for the space between the breaths in the energy center. When your energy naturally rises up to the solar plexus, be with it. And if you feel any tightness, you can move, breathe, request it to release. Can rotate your spine around it a little bit wherever you feel restriction. You can take a minute to appreciate yourself for being here, doing this practice. Gratitude for the opportunity to spend time with our inner. Gently allow your attention to rise up to your heart center, breathing into the space between the breaths in that energy center, allowing it to open. And feel these energy centers as full of light. We are light beings. When you're ready, allow your attention to rise up to your throat center. Now take your attention to the roof of your mouth, to the center where the hard palate and the soft palate meet, where the bone turns to softness in the roof of your mouth. Feel directly above that to the third eye. When you're ready, allow your attention to go up and out the top of the head. There's an energy center 8 finger breadths above our head. Finger widths. Widths. And follow the flow. Inside yourself through the energy centers. Consciously allow yourself to inhabit the field of Anasa. Doesn't really matter what we call that field. Our devotion is to that field of awareness. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes still holding to this beautiful field of light. We welcome your questions. How may we serve this morning? What's up with everybody? My personal astrology is a little wonky this morning, so I'm supposed to be quiet and just let the guide speak. Yes.
Both in the world today and this atmospheric pressure today, there's extreme amount of heaviness. And I'm just wondering if the guys have anything to say with what to do with that heaviness, because it's definitely pervasive.
So the question is first the observation that the energy today is really thick and heavy. And the question is what to do with that, how to be with it. The first thing is not to take it personally. When things get really heavy, that's when we go inside more intensely. We have to match the heaviness with our intense devotion to our inner work. and not let the heaviness take us down. Because it's important that we witness what's happening around us, and from the calm quiet of our inner, participate by, first of all, maintaining that calm quiet. Because as we move forward, it will become increasingly rare. And so we need to hold to it within ourselves. And also, as the intensity on the outside ramps up, so must the intensity on the inside to hold to our inner. We are the guardians. And the inspiration for living from love is always available to us, as long as we remain in integrity with our connection to it. And so what does that integrity with our connection to it look like? It means that we don't shift our devotion to some other outside of us. But in holding to that devotion, we may serve however we see fit to make the world a better place. And that may just mean sitting still and quiet and holding to that. It may mean donating time or energy to serving those who are less fortunate than we are. It can mean whatever we feel guided to do or not do that involves participating in alignment with love itself. Does that help at all? So the main thing is not to get distracted from our dedication to love itself. And what that means in this moment. And every system is dynamic. Everything in and around us is changing. And our perspective is quite likely based on false information, more than ever. And the interesting thing about this time and place is that we have no idea what information to trust. So it's very important that we hold to the love inside ourselves, because that's the only thing that's really trustworthy, is our dedication to that and to being an expression of that. And in holding to that and repeatedly investigating within ourselves what that means, what that feels like, and taking responsibility for who we are in this moment. What are we putting into the world? Is it love? What is our field of vibration? What is our frequency? Because this is what determines the outer, our inner frequency, determines what we attract to ourselves, both as individuals and as collective. And what we're witnessing is a world full of people who have no idea who they are or why they're here. And they're sort of hogging all the airspace at the moment, at least the visible media space. But that's not the only space there is, and we don't have to live in that. It's important that we witness it and hold steady through it. We don't want to look away because there may be a kind of participation that we can serve. And one of the things is that as SNAP benefits disappear, the food banks are asking for money rather than food because they know what people need and have access to it. So that's just, one thing possible. But the cruelty that's, coming is something we haven't seen before in our lifetimes. And hopefully some sanity will descend before too long. It's hard to imagine that the holiday season will involve our neighbors, our friends and neighbors starving. That has never occurred in our lifetimes. And it's really important that we stay steady in this and devoted to love, because there's no excuse for not doing that. And So it's hard to find the place of buoyancy in the midst of the heaviness. And yet this is our task for ourselves. Not Pollyanna, but love in the midst of darkness. Becoming the yin yang symbol with darkness in the light and light in the darkness. Understanding that the light is inside us and it's up to us to light up ourselves so that we can hold to it and share it as much as possible in whatever way, which may just involve holding to our meditation practice. Speaking to the higher selves of the people making decisions. Telling the truth when we have the opportunity. Understanding that truth is a visceral experience, but also knowing who we're talking to so that we shapeshift our way out of situations that have no benefit to us or anybody else and serve where we can. And always connected to love, aligned with that which is our source. Our job hasn't changed. It's just gotten a little more complicated. Anything else, Andrew?
No,
He's behind a music stand today. Hi. Yes.
Well, thank you for that. I wrote most of that down. I found that was really right on and right what I needed to hear. How to be in this through the chaos, and particularly with people going without food. That's very difficult. That's difficult for me.
It's cruel.
It's just
It's
very
cruel.
difficult. Yeah. But your talk, that was very helpful. I'm going to refer to that a lot with my notes. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And always the truth of giving is that we give what we can, but not to our own detriment.
Yeah, that's
It
a good point.
it doesn't help if we become victims ourselves.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's
We can call out the cruelty for what it is.
yeah.
That is its own way of support. But at the same time, we don't beat our chests about feeling victimized. We are
Right.
victimized. And we can support the fight in whatever ways we can.
Yes.
We don't always have the energy to fight ourselves. That's not our job. Our job is to hold space if we don't have the energy to fight. And to use whatever resources we do have to try to stem the tide of the cruelty
Right.
in the people around us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best we can do. And hold ourselves in love, because that's the most important thing we can do to anyone, is to share that alignment. Because that's our most precious gift. And that's not shared in talking.
Right. Energetically.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about talking. For the most part, we're past the talking stage.
Right. Yeah, because it becomes a conflict pretty quick.
Yes. And we don't have the energy for conflict.
No.
We don't.
There's enough just holding ourselves grounded
And holding our own feet to the fire, demanding integration with this love.
well, this is a time with all of our training where it's
Exactly.
been leading to this point, no doubt.
We have to be the light, first of all, for ourselves,
Yes.
that we don't drown
Yes.
in our own fear. Mostly in our own fear.
Yeah, really. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, we're living through a period of apparent death of values around us.
Yes.
And so it's fine to acknowledge that. It's not fine to collapse in a heap of tears.
Right.
I mean, there will be those moments. There are those moments already.
Yes.
But then we pull ourselves back to our cushion and we find the light within us and we hold to it. We are warriors. And it's amazing what being a calm force, holding to resistance and love, resistance of cruelty and violence, and being beacons of love and support.
Very nicely said. Thank you.
And how that integrity expresses itself in each moment will be different because we all have unique talents and situations. And we will all be given different opportunities. But our personal integrity depends on our devotion to being the light beings that we are and emanating that glow from ourselves. How may we serve further? Yes.
Hi. I just want to say how right on that is, and I'll be listening to that again. Believe me, because that is so where we need to be right now in the midst of anything and everything that comes at us and that's going on out there. And it's what you said about not stopping to pay attention, keep paying attention so that we can contribute where we can and holding our feet to the fire. Those are so important. I getting ready for a meeting that I'm going to go to, so I'm going to leave early, but I just want to thank you so very much.
Mm.
Yeah.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And well, it's so wonderful because that attention to our own presentation and the cultivation of the open heart and bringing that into the space wherever you're going is so valuable. No matter what else happens, you are present and you are bringing your presence in its fullness. And this attention to appearances, it is uplifting to see, to
Mm,
feel, to, you know, this is how we have to be. We can't just crumble.
yeah.
Yeah. So all power to you. Delighted. Hey.
I have a question kind of adjacent to that. I've been thinking about how things are all created through our own mind. And there's that thought that things should be easeful, especially if you're in alignment. And And I was reflecting on recently my experience that things aren't always easeful, or like, why have they changed? Um, and and to that, is there something that I've been doing to change my reality, or some sort of view that I've been holding that is affecting the easefulness? Or perhaps I just need to shift into a stronger disposition that things are going to work out. So yeah, I don't know where the question is in that, but
Well, I don't know about, I mean, ultimately things will work out in some way, but to look at the amount of change and the pace of the change that's happening, the pace of the destruction that's happening around us, we don't want to hold to fantasy that it's not happening or that we won't be impacted. At the same time, we hold ourselves steady. And yes, it's harder and harder to hold ourselves steady in the face of so much change and so much uncertainty. We have always, known that uncertainty is the name of the game, but it's never been so clear because for most of the decades of our lives, things have been simple. And, managing our inner was the hardest thing. Now managing our outer is the hardest thing. And managing our inner so that we can be in alignment in ourselves, regardless of what's happening around us. And, this is sort of the task of the medical person anyway, because we offer ourselves to be the calm in the crisis. And so that's, you are well trained for that. And you are also well trained to be steady in the face of incredible change. Because that's why we're training, is to be steady in the face of incredible change and to be able to hold ourselves, to manage our own energy so that we can be the beacon for those around us and mobilize the appropriate resistance to maintain our own integrity and sort of spearhead the energy of those around us to hold to the integrity of medical practice and being a giving person in the face of so much cruelty and delusion. But I have absolute faith in your generation to pull us out of this. Because my experience of you and your peers is that devotion and integrity is everywhere in your generation, and that and the capacity to really carry it forward is completely there. And it's being overshadowed by the old men who are trying to hang on. But of course, they have limited lifespan. And so you guys are going to build back better. There's no question about it. And that's the ultimate task that, is coming down the pike for you. And so holding to your own capacity as a visionary and a light being and a leader, are all of those things. And it requires that you keep your field clean. And by clean, we're just talking about connection. Keep your connection as refined as it can be. But that doesn't mean that you wear it on the outside. You are completely refined on the inside and a pillar on the outside. And you can create a field of mirror around your energy field, that anything negative that comes toward you is just returned to sender. And you're completely porous to anything positive. You can set up that energy field around you so that you can move through the world it's a simple practice. But you put this mirror around you facing outwards so that anything that is negative will just be returned to sender. And you hold to your own field and your faith in yourself as a light being and your devotion to that. And as you hold to that center, your behavior will be informed in a moment-to-moment basis in terms of what is required. You don't need to have a plan except to hold to your devotion. And your mission will be informed in real time. Because you have cultivated connection so deeply. And you will be a guide to those around you. So you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. There is no other plan, and you've been doing it for a long time. And you just follow that inner guidance. That's your beacon. And that's the beacon that you are creating this wave behind you that, it's all good. Does that help?
Yes. But I think I figured out my question.
Hey, let's hear it.
Which is, as human beings, do we have an inherent easefulness to our experience that is always available to us? And if so, how do we maintain that perspective or, I guess, disposition?
What we have is access to love. access to love itself and to that flow of energetic well-being. We have that. But in the face of conflict and resistance in our outer world, we can recharge with that awareness, and we can hold that awareness as much as possible, but we will be tired, we will be confused, we will be all the things, reactive things. We're still human. And so recentering, not defining falling off the razor's edge as failure, but constantly picking ourselves up, recharging with our connection and moving forward. But never judging ourselves as failure for whatever happens, because that's shooting ourselves in the foot. So whatever happens, we love ourselves and everybody around us. And we do our best, and that's good enough. We don't harm ourselves by rejecting ourselves when we appear to not be successful. Because we have no idea what success and failure are in this arena. So the success and failure are how well we hold to our love. And failing at that, which we will, is not a cause for alarm. It's a cause for deeper practice. It's a call for deeper practice. And some moments will be full of ease and awareness. And other moments will just be as confusing as hell, and you won't know what's going on or which end is up or what you're really supposed to be doing. And then you go inside yourself and get very quiet and feel for that love. And within that love itself is well-being, which is a kind of ease. You know what we're talking about. And from that, you get back on the horse and ride. And sometimes you'll just be completely lost, and that's okay. Because you know how to find yourself. You are no longer a seeker. You're a finder. And you have that. You have that in you. And it's always there for you. And we're talking to everybody here. We're not just talking to you. We have it. We know the experience. We're being put to the test. Who knows why? We didn't ask for this. Is that helpful at all?
Very much. Thank you.
We're so grateful for you and the quality of your work. Yes.
Very inspiring moment. Thank you. Morning. Yeah. Thank you so much.
What else? Hmm. Yes.
I just wanted to say that what I've gotten from being with you all has shown me the practice that allows me to stay on my path amidst everything, all the goings on, and just having a way um the how it's manifesting these days is I get to go out on the front porch bundled up and do my breathing exercises and the finding the stillness between the breaths and then the mantra. That's how I can start my day. And it allows me to hold steady no matter what is going on. And then finishing my day that way with yoga stretches involved for my physical self and being with my body. What I've noticed is that the falling off the razor's edge happens all the time. I mean, moment to moment. And that I used to resist that. And because of what you've taught, it's about regaining, returning, and allowing, yes, that happened, that little distraction or negativity or whatever happened. Now regain and return to being steady and open-hearted. Anyway, it's been so helpful the last little bit. It seems like things aren't slowing down, even though I'm used to it slowing down in the fall. No, it's not. And needing the strength or the center to respond is more and more obviously important that I can't, say, oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do my practice tomorrow. That that's not that's not useful. That's careless. And the need for it is increasing in a way. And yet it is so rewarding. It's a whole other way of responding and being confronted with all kinds of challenges. It's a whole other way of doing it that feels really steady and not dependent on circumstances at all. So I just am so grateful for you and the group because it's shown me the way. Okay, this is the way that you move, that you continue to increase your capacity for love. And um, that's what I've always wanted. So, yay. Thank you so much, all of you.
Just going to say one more thing, and that is that just because we are alerted to something that needs to be done doesn't mean that it takes priority over what's happening inside us. And so to have the discipline to step back inside, even though there's what appears to be some urgency outside, is really important in this time. And this is something that it's part of medical training, is to prioritize state so that you can act until it becomes reflexive. But centering ourselves can become reflexive if we do it enough. Noticing when we're getting pulled off by external demand and taking the time to recenter is how we train ourselves to be reflexive about recentering. Does that make sense? So this is the smaller message in there. Nothing is more urgent than our dedication to being the expression of love. Whatever that means. And it doesn't mean that we become passive ingrates. It doesn't mean that we become passive. It means very much the opposite, that we are actively engaged within ourselves, and whatever is required to resist to the cruelty happening around us, we have the courage for it. There's nothing more powerful than a little old lady standing up to ice. Not that will happen for any of us, but if it's required, that kind of behavior changes hearts and minds. We don't look for those opportunities. And we're not encouraging you to do it. But by honing our skill at being love itself, we are prepared to be warriors. Yes.
Well, I really feel the truth in your words, so it's resonating very strongly. Thank you. Great talk this morning. I almost bypassed this meeting, but I knew I couldn't. So
Well,
thank you.
when I saw the astrology this morning, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. Like, no, you have to channel. You just can't talk yourself.
Wow, did you channel? Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Mhm. Oh, we missed the meditation. So let's just take a minute or so and re-experience the space between the breaths. Hmm. So much love to you all. Thank you for coming today. Till Wednesday or next Sunday. So much love. Bye for now.